Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over ticker symbol ZOM Zomedica. Now yesterday I shot out this alert going over why I thought we were so bullish, sitting at $1 to 95-cent range, and that was my buy zone. And then I figured that we'd had about 20 to 40% of profits looking to take over the next few days in this penny stock specifically. So I'm going to go over exit points that I'm looking at today, a little bit of an update, and then some key alerts that were sent out to me this morning and that really confirmed the price action that we were going to see. So let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is look at the price point that we're sitting at. We got a dip today down to about 91 cents, looking absolutely beautiful. And then we're kind of popping back up to this double top range of $1.12, and we're getting a little bit higher than that. So I want to go to the chart really quick and point out things that I was looking at, right? So this was that order block range I mentioned in yesterday's video, about $1 down to 90 cent, 95 cent range overall. And now we're getting a push up. So I'm using a different chart today, but this is Bazinga Pro, just so you know. And we're pushing up to $1.40 is going to be that first target range. The second range being a little bit higher is going to be $1.60. Now, I recommend people don't be too greedy with taking profits here. You're already sitting up, if you got in the low end today at 90 cents, up over 25-30% give or take at the moment. So congratulations if you got in. Going from here, I definitely see the volume going to start ramping up over the next day or so, but we're sitting at this double bottom range and I really like what I'm seeing. But what's the news that was released? So this morning we were actually alerted that we had all these order blocks coming in. All these huge ranges, 60, almost 700,000 shares, another 750, just countless shares being bought. And then yesterday we received the same alerts, which really indicated that it was time to get in. Even at the dollar and cent range, we saw the 600,000, about 600 on average right here from 3 trades, and then more right here, about 750,000 again yesterday. These were all yesterday, and these were key reasons why we wanted to dump our money into these, right? And so then as we go here, so you like to follow the big money when it comes to trading. And so as we saw this double bottom coming in, obviously there's not too much support as you get down further. It's about 39 to 50 cents. So I figured we had to hold this range in order to see some sort of bounce. So I want to go over to TradingView really quick to get a better look at the chart and some technical levels. So the first resistance we have is going to be actually $1.20. Now I believe we're going to get a little bit of a pump above this range and start retesting. However, I recommend not being too greedy. Start trimming as you're going, because right now we are seeing the Nasdaq right here on the right hand side. You can see we're seeing the Nasdaq getting pulled back. So we're seeing money flow out of these tech plays coming into some of the cheaper penny plays today, which is kind of something we projected. Now I did anticipate this might take a little bit longer. However, we are seeing that key movement that we wanted, and you can actually see the OBV as well. The buyers are really loading up, and this was the indicator going into yesterday that I was mentioning, right? That we were seeing, that crazy volume start to ramp up here into ZOM, and that's why those indicators are so key on those block trades and buyers getting into these positions. So we did see that dip down to 90 cents, and now we're popping back up. A lot of people were saying we were going to 8.9, but we didn't get that 8.9 touch, and that's why I was so emphatic on mentioning that these ranges are typically blocks. Now there was a chance we didn't even go to 90. We could have just held in this range and popped back up. I got a quick little wick. So those are important things to not be too greedy or conservative with your entries when you're looking at stocks that have taken such a massive run down. That's what we've kind of done. So in the short term, there's a few ranges that I'm looking at right here. So let's put that back. And so as I'm looking today, I do believe we're going to get to $1.20. If we could hold above $1.20 to end the day, that'd be absolutely phenomenal, but we don't necessarily need to see that. I see us pushing, maybe getting rejected, trending, and slowly leading above. And as we get there, it's going to be 140, and then from there, 160. These are the ranges that I'm really looking to take a majority of my profits, but I will be skimming a little bit off the top as we hit $1.20, just so you know. It's always important to secure some type of profits, trail those stop losses if you have to, but ultimately, I do believe we're going to get that 140, even a 160 retest. Now, other key things you're going to want to watch for as we go back to the news. I believe you're also going to start seeing more buys stack up in these block trades as we're scaling back up on this chart. But it's important to know, I do believe Reddit and the rest of these, Wall Street bet investors are going to start taking eye to what's going on. You're seeing a massive 11% on the day, but this isn't to account, these bottom in this little test that we had of this range this morning as you look at the 5-minute chart, right? So this morning we did actually have a push down. That's worth mentioning. Then we shot right back up from that range, and that's the reaction that you wanted to see. So I do anticipate you're going to get some FOMO FOMO buying going on with Wall Street Bets and those type of investors. But ultimately, I think ZOM is a really nice play at the moment. Again, I also want to mention this is one of the major catalysts for believing that ZOM is so undervalued at $1.10. So we went over this yesterday as well. This offering we had on February 8th or 9th, I believe, at $1.90, which was a very cheap discount on the price, over 30% discounted from that local high of 270 that it was at that time. So this is a bare bones minimum for me personally. Getting back up to this $1.90, that's why I'm being a little bit conservative with that $1.60 top price range. But I don't want to be greedy, like I mentioned. You're taking over 60% profits at that time if we did hit that $1.60 range. But I do believe these are some of the catalysts you need to be looking at, that these offerings are at such a high price of $1.90, raising major amounts of money, funding that next product that they're going to be releasing. Now, again, I'm not too strong on the company overall for long-term viewpoints, but in the near term, next month or so, I do see the value of ZOM increasing. I do see it happening. And so I do believe this is something that you need to take into account, that these offerings were at $1.90, even though it was, at a major discount. We're sitting way under that valuation right now, almost 50% down from that 190 range when we hit that 90-cent marker today. So these are things to take into account. You're still getting a very good value buy in comparison to these discount rates that we were getting these offerings at. Just take into account as we pump back to the $2 range, maybe even 190, you potentially may be at risk for getting another offering on ZOM, which could really kill the stock price. So again, don't be greedy. All right, traders, that's going to wrap up the video on ZOM. I hope you got my overall viewpoint of ZOM, and I hope you got the exit points that I was looking at. If you have any questions, please ask down below. I'm trying to make these as clear and as easy to understand as possible when it comes to my trading methods. I'm primarily using price action trading, focusing on where key buyers are and where key sellers are. That's why these indicators showing where the big orders of block trading is. And if you look in the previous, you can see that there were block trades at higher levels, but there was not as large a volume and quality of those buy signals. So we're getting tons, millions of shares being bought below this $1 range, showing that is a major support. And this is where the buyers are, showing that price action does in fact work.
I can see that happening.
If you would like to see every single trade that I'm getting into, the Discord and Patreon link is down below. But I provide free content every day, posting tons of videos on stocks that are on my watch list that I see a lot of potential in. Have a good one, traders. Namaste.
Rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go.